So here we go. We're going into the game, and as you can see, there are the summoners with their summon abilities, and of course, you know, we're back to the pretty much the usual stuff. We've seen a few where heals have been coming into it a lot lately. Obviously, cleanse has started to come into effect a lot more with the new summoner patches. We're seeing Vayne with that down the bottom there. Actually, Caitlyn hasn't gone with it. It's gone with more the traditional the ghost and thing. Obviously, of course, he's got net shot, so he can effectively flash anyway with that, so he hasn't bothered with that. So it's a pretty standard rundown, and Nocturne will be the jungle, and here we go. Oh, have I loaded in quick there? I'm getting a little jerkiness bit, and it's immediately gone into the game 30 seconds in, which is worrying for me. But here we go. We're possibly going to get a quick shot net Peacemaker, what's the Piltover Peacemaker? That's the word I'm after. Straight across on towards Nocturne now, which is obviously knocked his hit points down, and immediately Sandmention pokes on towards Xerath as well. I did call him Nocturne, it was Xerath that did get caught. I've just been playing a game where you can zoom right out, and I am now sat there trying to zoom out furiously on the map. It's not happening. So it's going to be pretty standard layout by the looks of it. Nobody's going to get caught out in the level 1 fight. So back to default, looking like it's going to be Gangplank starting at Wolves, Nocturne, sorry, starting at Wolves, and Leigh also starting at Wolves, and then going to go blue, so pretty much identical jungle paths from the two. And have you seen the banking system? I actually really quite like the idea of it. Morello's put a post up about the jungle, the new jungle coming up, and it sounds good. It sounds like it really could encourage certainly the counter jungling, which is what they're after, and obviously the gank. So you're not afraid to go try and get a gank. Okay, it doesn't work, come back and carry on clearing your farm, because it's all built up the gold and experience. It seems like a pretty sort of like when you read it, you think, wow, why didn't they do that earlier?
Yeah, we were talking about this actually in the office, about the whole fixing stuff that maybe isn't broken just to try and to improve it and things like that. But I really like the banking idea that they're coming up with now. We'll see once that goes live how it actually affects gameplay. But I think thumbs up, at least in theory, we can say from that one. So it looks like we are going to have Morgana up at top against that Gangplank. In the middle, of course, Cassiopeia versus Xerath, and down at the bottom will be Caitlyn and Sona against Vayne and Soraka, with a very early Leigh here. N-rated could actually catch out Sandmention and do a lot of damage onto him. Sandmention just putting that wall down. Actually, he's got exhausted as well. Is he going to go down? No, he's managed to flash over the wall just about and get away with that one. Now it's Death Machine in all kinds of trouble as Caitlyn pops that ghost to try and get in there. Feeling a little bit worried, I think. And we're seeing Leigh actually coming back in, down into this one. Is he going to manage to land what he needs to land in onto Sandmention? There goes Sandmention, surely going down. No, he's got away. And now Leigh is even going to be in there. There goes a flash banana from Soraka. N-rated super low, but managed to get away. Is this EU East? Crazy start to this game.
Nocturne's also coming around as well. He's going to go towards N-rated. N-rated's going to get a built-up Peacemaker across him. Very nicely done. And I've got a question why Sona actually came back. I mean, just didn't quite think the Leigh was going to come back in there. There was no reason why not. He was not lower health or anything, but well, really well played by Sense as well, managing to pick out Vayne there, not losing his head instead of going for like Leigh that was going to take his support down. Instead, secured the kill. Really well played. Let's have a look towards the top, see if anything's happening up there. Looks like Shabs has taken a bit of damage, so a bit of back and forth going on at the top there. I have to keep our eye on that one, because Gangplank versus Morgana is not your normal lane, certainly in a tournament realm. And you can see Gangplank is being very aggressive, trying to keep him away from the CS, but it's going to be very hard. You cannot keep that cemented soil away from anything, so it's just going to easily eat up the CS once he gets it up a couple of levels. He's actually he's got 2 levels in it. He has gone for that Dark Binding, which he's going to try and catch on towards Nezreal. Of course, the difference here is he can just orange up every time he gets caught with that Dark Binding. So really the cooldowns are pretty similar. So I guess he's just going to build up on that one. Looking towards him, actually, he's built up Parlay. As expected, he's just throwing it in Shab's face. Shabs pushes the pace. Back up towards the top, N-rated taking the golems. He's going back to a pretty normal path. Has gone to a Doran's Blade as well, so going to be more of aggressive attack damage probably coming out from N-rated rather than the usual sort of defensive build-up to start with, or basically going for wriggles or anything like that. Looking in towards the mid, we have seen Xerath going back for the first time, so he's come back with boots to go with that Doran's Ring. Actually, I'm not too sure whether he started with the boots. up towards the top. You can see Nezreal had got caught out there, and Shab's now really starting to push it and throwing that tormented soil at him everywhere he goes. Of course, Nezreal has got potions on him. He can eat them oranges, get a little bit of health off that. Back down towards the bottom, you can see the wards being positioned in the middle there. Down the bottom, we are back into play. Sense, of course, has been back, did get those 2 kills, so got himself 2 Doran's Blades, so that's going to put him quite far ahead in terms of AD versus AD down the bottom here, getting those traps down as well, and laying down a fair bit of damage on towards Soraka there. Just missing with the Piltover Peacemaker there, Joe, but it's actually, despite the fact it was Acer that went for the gank, it's kind of gone against them now, because Sense is a lot stronger than Death Machine.
Yeah, he certainly is, and that's something they've got to be careful about there. And I have to say that, by the way, Flash Banana is a new thing that's come out. And also that banana has got such a slow travel rate, by the way. It's like a slow motion death, the most painful of all. But yeah, I mean, Sense obviously getting those 2 kills, that's going to give him this massive early lane advantage. Double Doran's Blade plus the boots already in there. And there goes more damage out onto Death Machine, who's really going to struggle, I think, to keep up in this lane. Fami's going to have to be spot on with his heals. We do have, in the middle, N-rated hanging in the bush. Glucosa is actually there as well. So they have spotted him by the looks of things. Cassiopeia just kind of ping in there as well. No damage being done. Lee Sin will go back, and in the bottom lane, they constantly putting pressure onto Death Machine and Fami as well. Obviously, these traps are down, so now just a very tough early lane. I mean, if we look at CS 32 to 38 in advantage of Caitlyn, not too far ahead, but when they continue to push these turrets, to push these minions onto the turret, it's going to get a lot harder for Acer to keep up with this bottom lane, I feel.
Yeah, definitely, and Vane's had to go back. He's got himself some Berserker Greaves, and he's already fell behind in the CS, which is kind of expected when you're not in lane itself. And that is the difference, and that tower already down half health. Another Piltover Peacemaker.
Doing so much damage there onto Nocturne. The ward was down and it was charging up for what seemed like forever. Managed to take down Nocturne.
Top lane as well.
Actually had to flash away, and yeah, we are going to see the ultimate coming out here onto Gangplank, who puts his ulti down in defense. There goes the Dark Binding. That's a dead Gangplank. Nicely done from Acer, and not really taking too much damage in between them there. That's the ganks that we like to see, and what Lee Sin is so good at as well, Deman.
Yeah, it's exactly, and he got baited very well to use that oranges there by Shabs. Managed to use them, trying to get out of it, and then waited with that Dark Binding, so very well played by Shabs there. That's going to even things up 2-2. Gold, as you can see, is very even. Death Machine has returned with their Berserker Greaves, but really is just being kept away and zoned out by Sand Machine. So they're very nicely done from him. So the bottom lane combo of Sense and Sand Mansion is working very well at the moment, which is something we've seen before. Soraka stepping on the trap, getting a Piltover back across him, and again the pressure on towards Death Machine continues from Sand Mansion. Very aggressive Sona play in the bushes, and obviously once you know your AD carry is stronger, you can really push it, and that tower is not going to last much longer. That's a big wave here. He's definitely going to take possibly the entire tower down here. Definitely going to keep working it, puts the Piltover across once again, and continues to harass on towards that tower. It could be a very early tower. Now, early towers are not always a good thing. It sometimes works against you because it frees up not only your lane, but the opposition as well. But it would be very favourable to get that down so they can work forward Dragon. We do have blue being given across towards Citizen here on Xerath, so potentially see if they're going to follow on down the bottom here. Looking back, you can see Ashe's also got the blue, so he's been gifted that buff from his jungler, and there goes Citizen, and they both return to mid. We do have N-rated coming back down. He's got the red buff on. Is anything going to come from it? There is a pink ward from gamed in that river at the moment, Joe, so I think they're going to see any gank attempt that possibly comes across. Looking like N-rated wants to try and ninja his way into the bushes.
Yeah, actually, Sam mentioned he's just going up there to get rid of that ward that they spotted, obviously, with the pink down. And I really like the amount of pink wards that we've been seeing recently. I mean, that's certainly something that's changed and got a little bit more advanced, is we're seeing a lot more pink wards go down to try and counter the enemy's wards, which I really like that change, and I think just obviously a natural progression in the game and how people are going about things. So have a look at the CS here as we are going to see possibly a dragon attempt now from Acer. They're already in there. This is interesting. They've seen Caitlyn and Sona go home, and they're going to take this opportunity, which came at the perfect time for them. Obviously, at 2-2 in the score, they are now ahead in terms of that gold. Obviously, their bottom turret is very low, only on 200 HP. But that's given time for Gangplank, for Cassiopeia to do a little bit of farming as well. But you know, Dragon is a dragon at the end of the day.
Yeah, and like you say, they took the opportunity. They saw Sense had gone back. Has gone back to buy a BF sword, so we're going to have to keep our eye on that one. That tower's going to go in seconds as soon as he manages to get onto it. And you can see the pings going down. They know that N-rated is around there somewhere, but they haven't got vision of that river, so you can see they're just backing up. They have no idea where he is at the moment because there's no wards placed in and around there. We can see Nocturne coming back along the bottom as well, so we'll keep our eye on that. Triple Doran's ring stacked up from Xerath now. Morgana's gone towards the Sorcerer boots and double Doran's. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia's only got double Doran's and a pair of boots. Keep our eye on the various builds. You can see them yourself on the screen, and also you can see obviously the gold build up. The difference at the moment between Caitlyn and Vayne is nearly 1,000 gold, so it's starting to stack up pretty quickly there. Death Machine, and that's of course with Dragon being picked up by Acer, so that's a big difference between two AD carries, and we'll have to keep our eye on this Caitlyn as he continues to pull that Piltover Peacemaker over towards Death Machine. Watching Xerath at the moment trying to pop on towards the Cease there, using the speed buff that he gets. Pops the ulti, goes down. Cassiopeia surely will drop. Yes, he will. Very nicely played there, using that speed buff that you get from the just anchoring yourself for a brief moment. Nocturne, meanwhile, down the bottom, Glucosa has snuck into this bush. Didn't see whether they spotted him or not. Haven't seen any clairvoyances going down. And judging by Death Machine's stance, I don't think they have any idea that he's there. And of course, that tower can go down in about 2 or 3 hits. So possible tower dive coming in here, Joe.
Yeah, I'd say this is a great time to go in there. I assume that Sense wants to put one more onto it. There goes the ulti. This is game on. And they dive straight in onto Death Machine, who's absolutely just blown up in and amongst all that. The Gangplank ulti went in there as well. N-rated is far from healthy. Caitlyn should have probably just hit the tower that couple of times that was needed there. Piltover going across though, and they'll continue to put pressure in with these minions that are coming across. They need to be careful because Xerath is in there charging up his lasers, and well, that net comes across and that could well save him. Sen mentioned, oh, just dodging there, that Q, and he's going to get silenced by Soraka, but that won't be too much of a problem. He's gone aggressive, gone back into the fight. Citizen has taken him down to around about half HP, as we do see that Clairvoyant go over as well. There goes the ghost from Sense, who wants to get in. They're going to try and dive onto Citizen because Gangplank's here. Citizen is dead and buried. Sense does have the ignite on him and will go down there. Didn't really see if there was a heal from San mention, whether it was on cooldown or what there was the problem. But they managed to take out Caitlyn in and amongst all that. That was a really important kill, taking him from 3-0-0 to 3-1-1. No, that didn't make sense. Yeah, killing him. That's what I meant to say. But it leaves the scores all tied up again, and actually 900 gold in the advantage of gained, which, you know, kind of tells you, okay, there's a turret in there as well, but that dragon's gone against them, and the farming's been really good, and there goes the middle turret. Top turret could go down here, though, in Ace's favour with Morgana.
Yeah, certainly going to get that top turret as well, and there we go. You can see Bloodthirster now picked up by Caitlyn, so good bit of play there from Gained. Obviously, the teleport from Gangplank helping out, coming down there, and obviously didn't need to hit for Dragon, had completely missed the opportunity to get it for Dragon, so instead using it to pick up a kill and obviously secure 2 towers. So very nicely played game here. That's going to level the goal back in towards their favour, 18.3 to 17.5, and obviously really the kills are going on to the right people so far. Certainly Caitlyn picking up plenty there. We're just in there. Will of the Ancients now completed by Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia's been doing okay against Xerath. Xerath obviously picking up 2 kills, one of them against Cassiopeia, but pretty even in CS between the two. Up at the top you can see Morgana has the slight advantage, but only ever so slightly, and that ward just being poked by N-rated at the top there. Back down the bottom you can see Sense has returned to lane against Vayne. Just going to keep my eye because he's going to surely get caught out there. Will do. That's very nicely done from Citizen there. Really good stunning him. Managing to catch the kill shot. And really that's a case of just going to place the wards. And
yeah, but that was a super deep ward as well. I mean, a little bit careless if you ask me, that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it was just a case of trying to track down to Sense. So whether Sense, pushing further up the lane kind of just baited him to doing it. You're just trying to go to where your AD carry is.
We've seen Morgana actually come back in towards this middle there as Xerath did get that blue buff. And yeah, that Tormented Soil now obviously up at level 11 she is, and that's doing a nice, actually leveled 5 times already. So super strong, wiping out those minion waves. Down on the bottom, we are seeing Death Machine trying to catch himself up here a little bit. He's only 11 CS behind, which considering he's died twice is not all that bad. We do have a ward here in this bottom bush as well for Acer, so they can see Sense obviously with the minions there as well, but they've got that little extra vision. Up at top, Gangplank got himself the good old Giant's Belt, Philosopher's Stone, plus the Heart of Gold built up at the moment. Still only got the level 1 boots though. Let's see how he changes away from that one, as we see also a few pings going down towards the Dragon area, and 3 coming up here from Gained. Actually, Acer are set up with 3 guys of their own. Glucosa, he's going to get the slow over. Enrated is going to dive in there, does a nice chunk of damage, plus dodging that Piltover Peacemaker. Pink Ward is down now, so games have that little bit of extra vision up towards the northern side. We are seeing Gangplank and Morgana come down as well. We may just see a 5 versus 5 fight on this Dragon Demon.
Yeah, I'm just watching them tracking down parallel to each other. And Gangplank needs to be careful he doesn't walk straight into him. Citizen trying his best to anchor and get a quick shot off there. Wards being placed left, right and centre, trying to clear things out. They will clear out that mid row. Still nobody pulling it, but they do have a pink ward on Dragon. So Game to have a good vision at the moment. And Acer looking to be backing away from this one. Remember, they don't have the tower there, so they don't have that added security that Gamed have got. They're going to clear that minion wave and just stack up, because they know for a fact that whoever loses this fight, it's going to immediately put them well in the driving seat for the game, especially if they manage to ace them. As they position, you can see they're trying to get that ward down, but the Gamed have that pink ward, so that's going to get cleared straight out. This is what we talked about, and pink wards really have been used a lot more in the games we've seen of late. You mentioned it, Joe. Certainly the Nordic East game, everyone was pretty much using pink wards. There was no normal wards, sight wards being placed at all. It was all vision wards. So looking back towards Acer, going to position themselves in the mid. Death Machine has got that BF sword on now, trying to build up towards that Bloodthirster. So kind of caught up a little bit in the gold. 0-2-2 compared to a 3-1-1. Obviously Caitlyn with the more gold, 5,700 to 4,500, so still that 1,200 gold advantage, and actually sitting on 1,250 gold as well, so possibly going to try and bite. And really I think that's what Acer are waiting for. We're waiting to see if someone can go back. You see Soraka's just been back and bought, got themselves an Oracle out there now, so it's going to try and clear out those wards. Gangplank has gone up top. Gangplank with teleport though, so don't forget he can just port in at any time. They are going to go back in for the Dragon Joe, I believe. Looking like you can see Nocturne down the bottom, so Acer are going to come going to come into this one pretty well split.
Yeah, there goes the ulti actually out from Gangplank. We're going to see the teleport coming down as well. There's the nice ulti across from Sona. Managed to get away there though, did Morgana. Enrated is still hanging around. I think they might come back in. They want to stop this Dragon being taken. Aziz going low there to Xerath. And the health advantage over with Acer, I'd say, at this point, and they are starting to move in a little bit more aggressive. They are going to get rid of this pink ward finally from the front of that Dragon. There is another one here just off towards the side, which Soraka's going to clear. And that will be Dragon taken and escaped with quickly, but our Ace are going to try to push this one. Nope, minion line is going to be wiped out. Both teams are playing super cautious. You know, this is a best of 3. However, a best of 3 is always going to go better when you get off to that good start, I tend to find. I mean, it's all about a confidence thing, plus that scoreline, knowing that you've got then 2 games to wrap up and get yourselves into the final. However, we've also seen it go the other way and lead to a little bit of overconfidence. So hopefully we don't see that from whichever team picks up this first game. We have seen a few go back home, as we do have now Caitlyn with that Bloodthirster and Berserker's Greaves, as Deman said earlier. Warmogs is finished on Gangplank. Let's have a look at Cassiopeia. Will of the Ancients, Double Doran's Ring, and the Sorcerer's Shoes that was from earlier on. Cassiopeia not having the greatest of times at the moment. 0-1-0. Is a little bit ahead of Xerath in terms of CS, but Xerath is 3-1-0, which is never going to be something that you want to compare yourself to. Cassiopeia has to play safe until she gets herself a little bit more fed up. Going to get this blue buff over by Glucosa now. They can get themselves back into lane. So, bit of downtime here after that last Dragon Demon. It looks like everyone's starting to settle back off into their respective lanes.
Yeah, and Xerath nearly completing the Rabadon's death cap as well. So his AP is definitely going to start climbing. Morgana's going, looking like towards Zonya's Hourglass instead. So a lot of AP, and the 2 AP. It's always the balance. If you are going to go 2 APs, you want them to be built up pretty high in the ability power early on, and it is working for Acer. So very close stuff at the moment. They've got a dragon apiece. 2 towers at the moment to game is what leads the gold. Sun Munchin's just waiting for Caitlyn to get herself down there, having a little fun with the race. We'll head south. Still not got that Bloodthirster completed. Fane has got 1100 gold and nearly 1200 gold in him, or her. It's a death machine. I think he's going to be safe there. Yeah, just continuing around the tower. It's taking a peek towards mid as well. See that they're just clearing waves. It's gone back to a little bit of passive farming state at the moment. The game, it does happen. Remember, this is a live finals or semi-finals, should I say? They are not online. They're in Cologne, I believe. Is it based at?
Yeah, in Cologne. The Tanzbrunn near in Cologne. Obviously, I'm broadcasting from the studio, Deman on Skype from sunny England. So yeah, we won't actually have any interviews with the players today, at least. I think tomorrow though we'll be having interviews in German, which I'll try and translate here on the stream as well. Seems to be working
Testing
out.
Your knowledge.
My German's been improving recently, so hopefully I can find something useful from those interviews for the English audience here on stream. And right now it is a very passive game, Deman. Since that last Dragon, it's basically been all about farming where they can, or just grouping up and not really doing as much, not really doing much at all. But we do have 4 men from game tier inside of middle. We'll see if they try to push now. Looks like they're gonna go put a bit of pressure on this middle turret, this inner turret, and then go back.
And then go back to farming again. It looks like they're going to try and catch out Morgana. They're thinking, no, they've decided against that one. They're going to go back down south. So, yeah, really very passive play at the moment from these 2 semi-finalists. Obviously a lot on the line. The EPS in Germany is really a big event. It's obviously a lot of maybe the American viewers may not understand sort of how big the EPS has been. It's been going for a long time.
This is season 19, by the way.
Yeah, and it's really one of the primary ones that have just like a stable diet in the German land scene, and the German land scene is enormous. It's one thing you cannot underestimate just how big of a scene it really is. It's pretty much every week you can go somewhere in Germany and have yourself some land fun, but not quite the same here in the UK. We get about one every. In fact, there's one on at the moment, as I mentioned. That was only a small one, but. Yeah, we don't get anywhere near as much, which is probably why the UK scene's never quite there in terms of esports. Sam mentioned just getting caught out. Little poke from Xerath. Xerath now has completed that Rabadon's death cap, up to 322 AP. Zonya's completed on Morgana. And looking like Acer have decided to actually start pushing on towards this mid turret. You can see it's a 4v4. Glucosa has been caught out, gets a quick kick from N-Rated there. Doesn't follow it through, would be a little bit suicidal, so really just poking that damage down. Chipping away, Joe, that's what they're doing.
Chipping away, and whilst all that's going on, Gangplank is filling up these good old Warmogs. He's up to around about 280 health in it at the moment, which is, not really super important because he's going to get there anyway at some point, but the earlier he gets there, the more damage. And he's going to be, look at the damage here from Xerath. There is the kill into Cassiopeia, and that is something that game really didn't want to happen. It came pretty much on the perfect 2 there in terms of from Acer. It was from Xerath onto Cassiopeia, who is now 0 for 2. Xerath 4-1-0, and this is going to give Acer possibly at least a dragon. We are seeing that Clairvoyance go in, and the dragon is picked up. Morgana has got the Zhonya's Hourglass already finished as well, and now these 2 APs, they've gone for that double AP combination, and so far it looks like it could prove to be very, very strong for them. Although I feel as we get later on into the game, games have that, you know, a bit more of a late game steady lineup, Deman.
Yeah, I just don't understand why Caitlyn didn't even try and attempt to steal that from the back there. There was nobody, no vision wards, no wards or anything. They didn't clairvoyance it. He could easily just got that cheeky Piltover Peacemaker across. We saw Big Fat GG do in, I believe, in Gamescom. Get that cheeky steal on the jungle with it, on the dragon, sorry, with it. But didn't even bother trying. Phantom Dancer now completed by Sense though, and that Bloodthirster, of course, is on Death Machine. Death Machine now up to, yeah, nearly 2,000 gold, so probably going to get that Zeal completed. We have Fami just placing that ward with Citizen. Citizen has really been the leading light at the moment for Acer. He's been the one that's been picking up the kills, and really actually initiating the kills that he has been picking up as well. So he's they're going to push in and get this middle turret. I don't think 8Gamed are going to do anything about it. Yeah, they're just going to back away from it as the 3-man defense goes in there. So second turret now down and evening things up. Obviously gold is back level despite the fact it's 6-4, so that just shows you how much farming that Gamed have been doing. I mean, up the top here, Gangplank has been pretty steadily farming away, but looking like he's about to get caught out. There's surely not going to be able to escape this one. Does take the turret down. Shabs comes across, probably will use his ulti. Yes, he will do. And I think Gangplank realises his goose is cooked here. He's going to get pinned on the wall, tries to use his oranges, lays down his ulti, tries desperately to escape this, which... Oh, and he tries to juke away. He knew he wasn't going to get away. Instead, he's just trying to buy time. He's actually dodging really well here, keeping the oranges going after Soraka. And he's going to try and run for the tower. Surely he just needs a banana throw down. No! Soraka steals the kill. Back down in towards the mid there. You can see Citizen has been caught out by a Caesar, and a couple of ultis used up on him, and that's going to be pushing on towards the mid turret. So nicely done by Gangplank there. Really just completely distracting the entire team while they come in and take a turret. Very well done, and I'm amazed Acer actually bought into that one. They surely realised, you know, if he's baiting us around this much, something must be happening somewhere on the map. It's your typical StarCraft tactic. If this is attacking me here, what is going on elsewhere?
And I can't believe after all that happened, Soraka got the kill.
Yeah.
How ridiculous was that? I mean, I guess they were feeling that those seconds were really close to being up Deman, and that it was going to run into that last tower hit, which is why they said, okay, whatever, get it. A kill's better than it going to the turret, but I don't think he was that far gone from the last damage that came in. I think that was just a little bit miscalculated, heat of the moment thing. But it leaves us with a 7-5 scoreline. Obviously 4-2 though in towers in favour of Game, so they do have a 2,500 gold advantage, and Gangplank goes back into top to continue farming. Surely, oh no, not quite, 405 bonus health from that Warmogs, but he's going to be up there and full very, very soon, and he's currently doing 225 attack damage, so you know, just getting even more strong as he continues to farm.
Yeah, so that Zeal is complete. Morgana, like you say, up to 258 AP now, has got that needlessly large rod. Completed the Zhonya's, looks like probably going to go for the Rabadon's death cap. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia has actually gone for Banshee's Veil, so fed up with being caught out by Xerath.
It's like, I'm going to give up on trying to do damage now. Just going to try and stay alive. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Soraka is 2-0-0.
Yeah.
Which is not quite what you'd call a perfect support. However, she's second highest killer on the entire team at the moment.
Killing machine.
maybe it's time to pull out that AP Soraka and go forward with the damage.
AP Soraka, I tell you, we had fun with AP Soraka when I was playing at I-43, I think it was with you, when we had absolutely nothing to cast because the spec client decided not to work for us, but that's a whole different story. But Gamed are looking like they're ready to push the pace. You can see Citizens like they're ready and waiting, poised up, charging up. Didn't actually get a poke on towards Sense there. Sense has completed that Phantom Dancer, I think we mentioned that one already. And Sandmansion is trying to clear out those wards. Spots that ward in the bush there. Make sure he doesn't get caught out here. He's been a little bit abandoned by his team. And they were certainly trying to position themselves, and the slow being used wisely by Acer to try and buy the time again. Sandmansion nearly getting caught out there. It's like, no, don't go that way. You will get caught out. Gangplank, though, while this is all going on, Gangplank's continuing to farm and push them lanes. They are going to go towards his tower now, so Gangplank might want to be ported in. Yeah, there you go. There's the teleport coming in. They are going to pop the ulti on towards Death Machine. Cleansed it off, though. And they will back away. They do get slowed. The snipe shot coming in as well. They're going for Death Machine there. Morgana turns around, pops the ulti, and Ace have decided they're going to have a piece of this. Glucosa goes down very quickly. Ulti pop from Death Machine, taking down a lot of people, putting damage onto them. Sense turning on towards Death Machine. They're still not managing to take Death Machine down. Sense is surely going to go down. Yes, he will. Lee Sin getting the kill there. Cassiopeia does finally get a kill, but that is going to be yet another one for Acer there, and this has gone horribly wrong for Game. Really didn't work out well, and there's Gangplank's again trying to troll them and get away. Let's see if Soraka can come back down from spawning and maybe get in there. Look, he just continues to eat up. He actually is going to turn around, maybe go for Shabs. Not going to happen. Black Shield is there, and that is finally the ace. Well, that really went wrong for them because it was Game doing the chasing with all the ultis popped. Solar ulti didn't quite catch them enough. Only went onto Death Machine. They tried to focus on Death Machine, and he obviously just cleansed and ran the hell away.
Yeah, that cleanse was a massive factor in that fight there. I'm not sure that they were in the best position to continue attacking, but I think once cleanse was used, we already saw 2 ultis burn instantly. We saw the Caitlyn ulti coming out, then you know, we saw Nocturne as well diving straight in there, so they were really committed at that point. Once Nocturne had dived into not losing any more people, but just not the best fight that Game could have taken in this situation. However, they're only 300 gold, not even behind, 200 gold behind, let's say, so it's not even that bad for them. They are 4-2 up in terms of turrets. We are going to see Asce actually getting himself blue buff. He's actually gone for the elixir here to offer him that little bit more power. He's a little bit behind with those items, obviously going in for that Banshee's Veil, which kept him alive in that lot. And we saw how much damage went out onto him earlier on in the game, and how basically Xerath was just forcing him to explode. With that extra bit of magic resist, staying alive, and that's going to be an important thing going forward for Game. However, I feel they could be slipping away from this one. I mean, 5-2-3 now is Xerath, and look at that. Just insane. That's the second time for Sandmansion to get caught out. Just clearing wards this time rather than placing them. But still, it's not something that they can afford to be giving that one kill here and there, and especially not to Xerath, Deman. Yeah, now it's going to go towards a possible Baron here. Xerath has been playing very well in this one. He's up to nearly 500 per pop on that ulti. Obviously gets a triple use of it, and if he can get you stunned, which he nearly did there, as the Dark Bindings came flying out, they are going to turn on towards Baron. They feel they've knocked Game down enough in the health. They are going to try and come back to him. Meanwhile, Death Machine keeps it active and just keeps shooting it. So Game are going to try and poke in there. They have backed away from Baron. Game. And Atmog's now completed on Gangplank. Gangplank's actually been farming a lot. 243 and 273 CS for Game, which is why they're actually not far. Well, they're still ahead in terms of gold, despite the fact they're 13-6 down. It's obviously those two people are keeping it. The question is whether Gangplank can make use of it, because he's been passive farming for a long time through this. Hexdrinker as well, also bought by Caitlyn. The Citizen's still trying to just catch someone out. But Game have managed to delay this one long enough to get Sona back in the game, which is bought them time, and this is why Acer are actually backing away from this Baron, and we are back to the passive farm. Looks like Game are going to try and steal that blue, possibly. Going to come around and think, you know what, why not go for it? It is there. Puts the ward down on it, but they're not actually taking it. There's no one near them. I guess the benefit of spectator mode is we can see that there's no one near it, but finally they're actually going to go around and go, you know what, we should probably take this blue. Yeah, why not? I mean, get that away from them. We are going to see Asce's blue buff being reset. And none for the 2 AP carries, don't forget, over on the Acer team, which... it's bad enough that they've got one guy without a blue buff for when neither of them can have it. That could force a little bit of a different outcome from this next fight, as we see Game Doll now going to try and take advantage of the fact that no one from Acer is near them and go straight in there onto that turret. Pings going down from Acer. There are wards in this bush, so we will see game back away, or will they? They're actually staying fairly confident here, as we will see the ulti go out, blocked by the Morgana. Black shielded up there just a little bit too late. But Gamed may try to force a little bit more of a push here. They may catch N-rated out as well. Oh, and he just gets diving out through the bush onto his onto Xerath there, actually it was, to avoid that fear proccing onto him. That definitely saving Lee Sin's life, or certainly a massive chunk of its health anyway. And now we see Gamed decide to back away from this one. We do have... yeah, still Gamed with that advantage with the gold, and it's actually crept up. It's not even far away from being 1,000 gold lead at this point. As Acer start to work their way, 5 men all down middle. Game do have 4 men there. Nocturne's actually back in base as that Banshee's Veil does get popped. Obviously, this turret is the hard one to take down, being forced into that base. Let's see if Acer can push through it finally. They may just go down for a little bit of jungle invasion. We did see there the Clairvoyance. They know that that red buff is not available to steal away just yet. In fact, it's on sense at the moment with Caitlyn. And they just sit outside of this base waiting for something to go right for them. Here we go. They may go for this one. Citizen actually charging himself up. Didn't connect onto anyone there that time though. Death Machine needs to be careful that he doesn't push too far forward in amongst all this, because Gamed are all full HP. And if they take someone down to half, they'll probably fancy their chances of pushing straight out and maybe going for the 5v5 team fight. They need to drop a ward over the top. Oh, there is one there who's just under my scoreboard. I didn't see it. They keep trying to connect onto someone. There's the hit onto Sand Mention. Nesirus getting slowed as well. And this poke is not being all that successful, Deman. They're poking, but none of it really connecting. Ooh, they look like they could go for this one. There goes the ulti. Cleanse goes out as well. Ulti's left, right, and center. Fams is going to go down. There's just kills all over the place, but it looks like Acer could be the team coming out on top of this one. Glucosa is low. We are going to see Death Machine surely go down to Gangplank. He manages to get a bit of feel from the good old Bloodthirster there early on. Glucosa is going to go out as well. Are they going to try to force a Citizen? No, not quite.
Teleport.
And from this, Sense has actually got a triple kill.
Teleport
is, yeah, teleporting into that bottom lane. He's got minions coming in there with him. The spawns aren't due for 13 seconds, but that's Soraka, who's now 2-2-4, by the way. Not really picking up much more from her early 2-0 lead that she had. And Gangplank is going to try and do as much damage here as he can.
I don't understand why he's teleported there. I mean, I know you wanted to go for that base turret. He's put himself in a dangerous position. Caitlyn will definitely take this top turret, because there was a huge stack up the top. I didn't understand why he didn't go up there and stick with the rest of his team, because splitting up is just probably the worst thing they could have done there. Why they didn't both stack up and follow through to the top, I don't know. But obviously chose to do it the other way. He is going to pick up the Dragon for his team. Again, it worked really well for them there, actually. Cassiopeia finally managed to catch the ulti across a few of them. As soon as the Sona ulti went down, Cassiopeia managed to, a couple of them turned around to actually go, right, we can fight, and then Cassiopeia went, ha-ha, stone in your face. So they've turned the lot, which is why there's a couple of them just dropped instantly at the start there. Very wisely done from Shabs, trying to delay it with that Zhonya's, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. So that's going to really put the gold in their favour. 4k advantage at the moment. And Acer need to be careful, because it was from their aggression that all happened. And Games were just waiting their time, because they had both top and bottom lane push, so they could quite easily sit there in the mid. It was the only one that was causing them any issues. And now, if we look at items built, you can see Sense has that Infinity Edge, 6-2-3 now. So that is a very, very dangerous Caitlyn there. And if he can catch them out. 65 though for Xerath. Xerath has got that Void Staff to go with the Rylers now as well. So up to 524 AP. You can see himself, he's just trying to position himself just out of sight to anchor and maybe catch people out, but nobody's really falling for it, like Cassiopeia was early on. Looking around down to Morgana has got that Rabadon's Death Cap as well completed, so he's also up to 411 AP. Nocturne is finally getting himself, he's got tank enough, he's got armor penetration, he's got the damage, he's got the lot, you could say. Looking down towards Gangplank, he's now got that, wow, Frozen Mallet completed as well. So he had at Monks for a while, and again he needs to be back in the action because he loves the passive farm. He's got that teleport. It's not up at the moment. It's only half, so I think he's going to port back. Yeah, he's porting back now because he's realised that Acer are actually all here, and we're going to have yet another 5-on-5, Joe.
Yeah, it looks like it. Look at Death Machine stripping the HP from this turret, and actually Glucosa being caught there by the Dark Binding, plus Tormented Soil, the perfect Morgana combo. However, Game Dev again managed to force them away. That little bit of poke from Xerath. As you see, Gangplank again managed to dodge everything that they throw at him. Sand mentioned take some damage, and I think that might force Game to retreat. Yep, they are going to go back from this, and Acer say, okay, you retreat, we're going to try and push in. But it is obviously a 6-3 turret advantage for Game. So from their point of view right now, all they need to do is defend and pick the perfect moment, Demon, to take that team fight and then push straight out, because they've only got the base turrets plus the inhibitors, and this could be GG, as we are seeing Acer now again move their way over. We do need Gangplank to get back into this fight for Game if they want to win this one. Actually, Shab's taking a bit of damage. That base turret will go down. Sam mentioned again the aggressive one in amongst it, but we've seen the initiation come from him every time. There goes the ulti from Cassiopeia, from Sona as well. We are going to see one going down. It was Soraka first that went down. They're doing so much damage to Enrated. Stop focusing on Enrated and go for someone else. Xerath and Vayne were both there, and well, that's allowed Death Machine to get a couple of kills. I think that was a misjudgment in terms of focus, as we are seeing now Gangplank in and amongst everything. They're focusing Death Machine and goes down. Sense is fairly low. Lee Sin got too confident, and Game are now going to try and finish this game right here, Demon. There's obviously 20 seconds till Soraka comes up. The rest are a little bit further behind. Sense was trying to catch up there and get that final kill onto Xerath that would surely finish off this game. But our Game going to go now for this 3-man Baron. They've got assist up in 15 seconds, Glucosa in 20, so they'll probably delay the actual pick-up of the Baron, but they need to be careful about that because Xerath is there ready and waiting, and we know his range is absolutely devastating. Nice build over Peacemaker there onto him.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's going to go down. There goes a Peacemaker. Nice move from Sense as he netted over the top. All 5 alive now for Game, and there goes the Baron pickup. Really, really well played by Game.
Yeah, very, very well played. Very well executed there. It all began with, obviously, the tower going down, which was probably not in Game's planning amongst that. But you saw Gangplank come around the side. Actually, I was expecting Gangplank to put his ulti down a lot earlier than he did, and I think it was Sandwich that went down very quickly in amongst that. But you know, why are they targeting him? It's sense they need to be going for, just like they're going for Death Machine on the opposite side. But really well played, working very well in their favour there. And Game coming out certainly in a massive position to possibly push forward and take one of these inhibitors down. 61k to 54, so big advantage in terms of gold. Still behind in kills, would you believe it? But they have this Baron buff. They have a 4-man, a 5-man push now because Caitlyn is coming up behind, and Lily said Candy Panda there, coming up behind. And they surely going to go in towards that. No, they've just caught a glimpse of Morgana instead. Yeah, they're like, no, you're not having your blue buff. We're going to have that. This is something we saw the other day. I mentioned on with Clanless actually. You know, once you have that control, you really need to be going in there, taking the reds, taking the blues. Oh, Xerath trying to get a poke on towards Gangplank there. Continuing to anchor himself. Actually, it's just, you know, in all fairness, Xerath has been playing very well. Citizen has been.
Yeah.
At the moment, the rest of the team aren't quite pulling into it, and really, you've got to wonder whether that double Soraka kill early on's kind of worked against Death Machine. Death Machine on 4-4-4. They are going towards his tower. Can they get it down? It's down to 600 hit points. It's surely going to get finished off with the next wave. And is it with one with a tank? No, it's not. So the siege minion is not coming in the next wave, but so it's probably going to get wiped out. They're probably going to have to wait for that one to come. Yeah, you can see they're sort of backing away and waiting for that siege minion. Instead, they're going to rotate round instead towards mid again. So they're just keeping Acer on their toes. Of course, that Baron buff is ticking down every single time. It's halfway down already. So they see the siege minion in the mid, so they're probably going to follow that one through instead.
Yeah, they're looking for this kill for the finish off here, Game. You can see that I think 3 out of the 5 actually have elixirs on them at the moment, which means they're really pushing out for this all out. But the Dark Binding is caught Nocturne. He decides to flash away to safety. Good choice there. Game can't afford to be losing all this going on. We do see the big wave coming in at top, which forces one at least. In fact, two have gone back there for Acer, which might be a sign for Game Tier to push in onto this base turret. But N-Rated, I feel, doing a good job of showing his aggression there. Obviously very strong and tanky. He's up at, I can't quite see his HP, 3.2k at the moment, although Gangplank is on 4.5, by the way, just to throw that out there. 344 AD on him at the moment. Very, very strong Gangplank. And they're going to back away, and they're going to have themselves a dragon. Let's have a look at the Baron buff. So about a quarter of its time left. Are they going to be able to utilize it? That's the problem.
Yeah, they're just, I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. They're at 63,000 gold into the game. To back away from turrets with a Baron buff on to pick up a dragon just does not make any sense to me. Why they didn't continue? They had that massive wave up top. They'd drawn two people in. They had the chance to go for it. I still think they're obviously going to push in towards it. You can see that it is still pretty low, but they're wiping these waves of minions out, so they're going to have to really, you know, go balls deep, as it were, to try and get a kill here. Sense is being targeted by Xerath still. He's desperately trying to overcharge onto him, but he's just getting all healed straight back up. Sandmansion's actually taking that to half health. You can see, has been caught in the Dark Binders. Will Acer try and follow it through? No, they will not. Instead, N-Rated thought about it and then got absolutely pummeled for his troubles. You can see that minion wave is coming in. Caitlyn is going to try and get the shot off. Morgana does pop the ulti going in towards the Gangplank ulti as well, following through. Sona ulti manages to catch out too. It is going to be Soraka going down first. Meanwhile, at the top, Glucose is getting caught out by Death Machine there. Shabs is trying to get targeted, but Gangplank will follow. They will finally take down Death Machine. Does have that the Guardian Angel on. Will get taken down the second he respawns. It's almost useless at this stage of the game. And that will be the first inhibitor finally. But they had to take some losses to get it. Surely going to catch on towards Shabs here. They will do. Has used is, yes. Sonya's hourglass. Sandmansion almost going down. Finally gets taken down. And Sense picks up another kill. 13-5 now. Sense on Caitlyn doing a fantastic job. Xerath is just trying his best to keep their waves clear. Actually doing a big chunk of damage on towards Sense there. Will continue on. Power cord coming out from Sandmansion, but they're going to have to back away. Joe, you know, they finally got the inhibitor, but they didn't have dilly-dally about doing it. And obviously the Baron buff had already worn out by the time they finally decided to go.
Yeah, and they were in my opinion, that was a real dangerous one from Game as well. We are going to see Sense actually tanking this turret here, getting some health, getting some heals from Sandmansion. They need to be careful because Leigh is coming up in 3 seconds. Xerath is on full HP and hanging around there. Sandmansion is in such an aggressive position. Citizen feeling like he couldn't burst him down at that stage. We do have the top side of the jungle here all alive. So we maybe see some invasion from Game. Their jungle is actually all up as well. And we are going to see them go back home. So maybe, Deman, we're going to be waiting off for another Baron buff.
Yeah, possibly. Although that mid-turret sneakily got just at the end there as they backed off, kind of helped them well. So they may well just push for that middle exposed inhibitor. I see Nocturne just picking up the gold up the top there. And,
you've gone robot.
Oh, nice. I'll fix that then.
Huh. Apparently video is lagging a little bit. Yeah, guys, apologize. Try that. I'm also in the tech channel as well, so maybe we can find some info from that one. Here we go. Call. So they want to take down this inhibitor now. That a turret is down. And it's actually Sona that's at the front of everything there, doing the damage, as Shabs takes a massive chunk of damage. Over goes the Piltover Peacemaker. She uses the Black Shield. Ulti from Sona, but it's not done all that much. They've got the one kill down the bottom. Soraka is dead. Oh, actually, they didn't get the kill onto Death Machine. He's still alive as they switch over. Focus Morgana, for God's sake. Not Leigh Sin. There they go. Finally taking down Morgana, but they've lost a man for the privilege. And there's a second one going down even. Nicely done from Citizen there at the back, using his range to completely make sure that that wasn't a problem. And now we are going to see a very dead Gangplank. Finally, he did get the kill onto Vayne, which could well have kept their hopes alive in this one. Obviously, there are a lot of super minions now pounding away onto a lot of minions as well from Acer, so these turrets should be safe for now. But, wow, they aren't half taking their time about this one, Deman.
Yeah, and hopefully the robot's been fixed now. But
Yeah.
I mean, the gold advantage is 10k advantage. Like you say, game short are they're delaying on this one. It's almost certainly going to be a Baron next time. They're going to feel they probably need it. They didn't get that inhibitor down. It's very nearly gone. There was a minion beating on it, but that will regenerate itself. Kassadin will clear that out. No problem, but yeah, an ace for 3 kills without any towers there is... how did that go wrong? How did it go so badly wrong for them? God only knows, but Citizen now up to 666 AP is very strong. Obviously that Will of the Ancients is helping as well. A 794 make that, because he just got himself a needlessly large rod and a Brilliance pot to go in there, so that is huge, huge damage. That Arcane Barrage will be doing just shy of 700. And the Arcano Pulse will be, yes, just shy of 700 as well. So really huge damage coming out from him. Let's have a look towards Acer. Acer only on 512 AP. Obviously has been behind pretty much all the way through this. Sense, though, really is the man they just need to protect. If they can keep Sense alive, who is now starting the Baron Joe, which actually... You know what? The Acer are finally getting into a position here. They're going to try and come around for it. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to react quick enough, but the Baron's down to about half. They're going to dive in for it, and Game are going to have to try and stick it out. They are going to go in for Baron. Who will pick it up? It will be Acer picking up the Baron there. Very nicely stolen. Sandmansion is going to go down very quickly, and Game surely are in all sorts of trouble. Death Machine tries to back out of this one, cleanses himself out. Glucosa will go down. Gangplank also in trouble. Wow. That really did not work out very well for Game there, and that's going to surely put Acer now in the driving seat. They're going to try and make this count. They have a 5-man push. They have just an exposed inhibitor. There's no reason why they can't just follow it straight through. You can see Morgana going back. Oh, backdooring coming out from Gangplank here. He's going to try and come around. Has Champs realised it? Yes. He's just going to go heal himself up. So that 4-man push is going to be a full-on race. I don't think Gangplank's going to be able to do enough, and I reckon Acer might steal it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Ace's game, to be honest. It's only Caitlyn there to really do the damage. They'll dive straight in there. Oh. She is dead. This is surely GG. We do have Morgana back there to, you know, make sure that that Gangplank doesn't push his way through. The first person out is in 20 seconds, and there goes the GG. An amazing finish here, and Acer are going to pick up game 1. They were, of course, Deman in front with the kills for so long. And I just want to ban this guy from the chat channel so no one's clicking his virus links. There we go.
10,000 gold ahead, though. 10,000.
Yeah. Insane. I mean, the gold was all over the place, completely the opposite place. There were so many turret kills earlier on, which made a massive difference, obviously, for Game. But you have to give credit to Acer for coming out on top of this one as well. Yeah,
superbly done, and really Game they made too much of a meal of it. They, you know, when they had that Baron buff, they chose to go for Dragon. Why? Something one person at that stage. I think they were about 60k gold in for a team. You know, why would you suddenly abandon it? God, one person could just go pick up that Dragon. You didn't need to send the whole team there. It was they just delayed too much. However, they also played very well at the start, because obviously they were countering so well against Acer. But Acer's certainly with the more aggressive throughout. That obviously, like you said, they've led with the kills all the way through, and with that great steal on Baron, it's what you risk when you just delay too long. You don't push your advantage, and we've seen it so many times in the last few games. Teams are just, they don't seem to realise it, and whether it's a case of the in-game leader not just sort of being assertive enough, I don't know what. You never really know what goes on in these teams across their chat. Obviously, like we said, they are live. It's a precious situation. They've all travelled to Cologne. I've no doubt none of them, or some of them may live around there, but they would have all travelled in for this one, obviously meeting themselves. And you know, you put yourself under pressure situation when you know you're at an event, you're at semi-final, that final, that big stage final. In fact, are they on stage as well? I don't know. I
think they're actually playing in the pro gaming area. StarCraft's on stage at the moment. Yeah, so they've got a little bit of quiet. I guess there's going to be guys watching. There is a second stage where League of Legends is right now. I just want to point out there for Sense, by the way, 407 CS. That's a ridiculous amount. Closest to him was, what, 350 almost from Xerath over on the other team. Yeah, but that whole dilly-dallying costing Game the game. And that's something that I'm sure they're going to have a talk about while we wait for this second game to come up. We're going to be going over to a quick break, which means, guys, I am going to give out a K9 NASA skin over at twitter.com/Joe_Miller. Make sure you follow me here in the next few seconds. I'll post a link in chat as well, and I'll give that away in between the games. I'm going to put on a little bit of music while we get ready for that game number 2, but as soon as we're ready to go live, of course, we'll be back here on ESL TV. Don't go anywhere.